Hello, just a quick video. Someone asked me how I heat my crested gecko, so I'm just going to show you how. I use a Terra Canopy light, and the bulbs I use, there's two bulbs. The bulbs I use are, because I've got some here, I'll actually show you. I use daytime heat 25 watt bulbs, put it under the light so you can actually see. I use them bulbs because it's an Terra product, so I might as well use Terra bulbs. So yeah, that's the lights I use, and I keep this light on for around 12 hours, and it's all day. So it gets that all day. And I also have, on the side, a heat mat. This heat mat is rarely on, but it's just, it's mainly for the winter, as he usually stays at the back, if anyone knows my crested gecko. But in the winter he moves to this side because there's a heat mat, and he won't actually burn himself because it's on the thermostat. And I'll show you how I've done that. Basically, the sensor is there because if you don't understand how this works, I have a video on the Ministat, and that's basically what I use for all my tanks, and that is the Ministat probe. You can't see it very clearly, but that's the Ministat probe there, and that's why it's taped up. So that's taped against the heat mat, and then the heat mat is taped against the tank. And finally, down here, you won't be able to see, but down here is the microclimate box. You can't see because of light. There is the microclimate box, and that is set to 25, and it is rarely on because it's not needed, because the light gives it the ambient temperature, but sometimes when the temperature at night drops, the heat mat will come on for a bit, which will help keep the temperature up. It is set to 25 Celsius, which is, I'll look on the other one that's over here, 25 Celsius is 76, 77 Fahrenheit. So if you want to heat your crested gecko, I'd advise a light, Terra Canopy light, and also keep a good, let's measure it just so people realise what it is, a good inch away from the light. No, a good 3 inches. You want to give a good 3-inch gap, because the crested gecko can climb to the top of the tank, but he's not going to do it on purpose. And even if, because if he stays at the top, he's still going to get the warmth, but he won't burn himself on the light. So if you get what I mean, you give a 3-inch gap from the top of his plants so he doesn't burn himself. That's just all I needed to say. That's all I use for heating my crested gecko. If you any questions, just ask. So canopy light on the top with daylight. I think you saw the bulbs, two of them bulbs, and a heat mat on the side, which takes up nearly the full side of the tank, like a third of it, but the full length nearly, and that's perfect with the probe stuck underneath it. You can actually see the probe there. So yeah, it is important if you're going to use that to use the Ministat, or you can burn your crested gecko if he goes near it. But he probably won't. He'll probably just stick to the other side of the tank to stay away from it, but it's better not to do that because it can stress the animal out. So I can't stress enough to use a Ministat. And that's all I can say really for that. That's how I heat my crested gecko. I cannot remember your name who asked. It was in a private message, but that's just how it is, just so you know. So yeah, that's how I heat my crested gecko. See you in a bit.